Hello, this is Carter Cashin, and today at Global Lens, we're going to talk about Haiti. Why do we want to talk about Haiti? Is because Haiti is has beautiful story, beautiful history, but we also understand that things needs to be changed from a different perspective. Because history is a history, and a fact is a fact, and this is why we want to talk about it. Well, one thing that we have seen a lot over the years is how big, Haitians tend to be proud. Me, myself, is a very proud man. I love to talk about our history. I love to talk about who we are as person, how we can actually exhibit our capacity when we have a chance to do that, and also how we tend to be strong together when we are, facing adversity. When I'm talking about adversity, we're talking about, let's say, the TPS situation here. We're going to find Haitians ready to do everything they can, put their hands in fires to help when we are in a situation that requires a petition, such as how some players of our foot soccer team were treated. There were different petitions to gain that respect. And also whenever mediatic something occurred, like Megan Kelly, who talked about Haiti in a despicable way, when Donald Trump decided to also do the same thing, and Haitians were really proud to remind the world that we are the OG of independence, for the black people. So we like to say that, and we tend to be really proud to talk about it. But at the same time, it's true. But at the same time, there are also a few caveats we need to address. Well, first and foremost, let's look at the good side of Haiti in the global independence world, in the global path to independence for different countries, not only for black countries, but also for a lot of Latino countries. First and foremost, I have to say that Haiti was independent in 1803, and that has also created a really good vacuum for a lot of black, let's say, African countries to pursue the independence pathway, and that was great. So a lot of African countries started to gain their independence around 1960s and up. And but if we want to go a little bit earlier, we can talk about Venezuela, for example, where Haiti has provided refugee weapon ship funding to their leader at that time. His name was Miranda, and so he came to Haiti to visit Alexandre Pétion, who was at the time our president, and we give them everything they need to go and abolish slavery in their countries. Colombia, of course, same thing. Bolivar came to Haiti, and we provided them with support that they needed, and that eventually helped them to gain their independence. If we're talking about Ecuador, which is the same thing, so part of the Grand Colombia liberated through Bolivar movement that received Haitian support. So we have done a lot. Panama, for example, same thing. So same thing as Ecuador. So the Grand Colombia has indirectly helped them to get independent to Bolivar's support. Peru, Bolivar's liberation campaign in Peru was strengthened by Haitian assistance. Bolivia, named after Bolivar, and Haiti support helped make their liberation campaign possible. So this is actually all of what Haiti has done, to these countries, and that has done mostly directly. But also, there's been a lot of inspiration, to independence movement across Latin America and the Caribbean, such as if we're looking at the Dominican Republic. Of course, the Dominican Republic, Haiti has helped them to gain their independence, and we also actually support them. I don't want to say that we occupied the Dominican Republic, but we actually helped them, to be who they are right now. Cuba, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, Brazil, all of those countries actually have been inspired due to 1803, 1804, our independence, which is amazing. Now let's take the time to make a comparison between what Haiti is right now versus these countries that it helped to get their independence. We're going to do this country by country and GDP, gross domestic product. uh, Haiti's GDP approximately is $20 billion, and with a population of 11.5 million people, very fragile political stability and human development. We can also just like HDS, human development standard, is very low. Venezuela compared to Haiti, they have a GDP of $100 billion. They have a population of 28 million. Yeah, political stability is also really challenging, we can say, but it's higher than Haiti. But remember, we helped them get their independence. Colombia, their GDP is about $400 billion. They have they have a population of 52 million, and same moderate political stability, much higher than Haiti for sure. Ecuador, 120 billion GDP, 18 million people, moderate political stability and higher than Haiti. Peru, 250 billion of GDP, 34 million of population, moderate political stability and higher than Haiti for sure. We're looking at Bolivia, 45 billion GDP, 12 million, about the same size as Haiti. If you want to look at about difference of 500,000 people, moderate political stability and way higher than Haiti. If we're looking at apple to apple. And Panama, 90 billion of GDP, 4.5 million people. Well, because they have a really good relationship with the United States, they have a relatively stable, political stability and way higher than Haiti. Now, here is it. So why have I decided to make this comparison? This is also to see how we started and to where we are. Of course, we may have different reasons to say that, our $20 billion GDP, which actually more than 60% of it is from the Haitian diaspora, from Canada, the United States, France, Chile, and anywhere else in the world. We can definitely say that this is a really good way to accept that we are actually the poorest in this list. However, how did liberator became one of the least developed nations in the hemisphere? Of course, in 1804, like I said, we have defeated the most powerful country. We got to be proud. We are always going to talk about it. This is great. And with all those bottleneck, adversities, constraints that have that have come with that, we can definitely say that we have done something about it. However, we also have to take responsibilities, and this is pretty much where I want to talk about the other side. Yeah, we have done a great job, but what's next? Because at the end of the day, one thing that we also believe is that sometimes when you do a good job, you also need to have consistency. And in order to have consistency, you need to also get to understand exactly, you have to believe, or you have to understand the definition of awareness. I always say that awareness is the definition of awareness is the beginning of change. When you start to be aware of your flaws, when you start to be aware of your problem, when you start to be aware of your position, you can actually take action to bring changes to your situation. And what you need to understand now, when we're talking about awareness of awareness, the beginning of change is to know exactly who is the enemy right now? We know for sure in 1804, our enemy was France. In 1915, our enemy was the USA and all the others. And we can even say that in 2004, our enemies still were the United States, France, and all those other international communities who didn't want to give us an opportunity like Haitian to grow. But now we know exactly what's really going on, and it's been there forever. Our enemy right now is corruption. Our enemy right now is political division. Our enemy right now is dependency. Our enemy right now is weak institution, lack of long-term vision, brain drain. We have a lot of people who decided to leave the country whenever we're talking about, and the United States and Canada is really strong in this, like whenever they have a chance to one on weekend, on our, institutions, they'll open the door and get all those intellectuals to come in and stay. And unfortunately, we don't have any opportunity to use those that are down there. These are like the main enemy we're actually facing right now. We're also facing an enemy that is called culture of survival instead of production, So this is the first thing that we need to understand. A lot of countries have found ways to turn this around, because when they get to understand it, what they have done is, focusing on those. Again, awareness. Be aware of what is going on and use this to actually help you change, So if we can talk about all of what's been going on. We can be proud to talk about Haiti as one of the best countries that ever existed, all those big actions that we have taken to make us as Haitian people really proud. But what about the next generation? What about the next 15 years, moving forward? What's going to happen? This is where we need to look at. We are not going to forget what we have done, but what has that really done for us? Or what can we do right now to ensure that we use this moving forward to do better? We're talking about education. So having a chance to educate, and to invest highly into education, this is already starting to help you change your mindset. Entrepreneurship. One thing that I can say about entrepreneurship, which is among Haitians, that's crazy. The Haitian, sometimes like they'll be really proud to come and talk to you about, I have 1 building, 2 buildings, 3 buildings, And what they don't understand is that when you have those buildings, you only have one partner, which is the government. You have the building, the land is not yours, you're going to pay taxes forever, and this is it. So you're going to always share that, proceed with the government. But when you take a chance to put 10, 20 entrepreneurs together, open a big building, a big business, this definitely can actually bring more opportunities, because this is still going to allow you to get more buildings if you want, but this is also going to help you create jobs for the people from the community. So meaning you do even better when you have a chance to actually invest into other business. The importance of entrepreneurship, civic responsibilities. Sometimes like when you want to grow, the first thing you need to understand is, hey, I want my room to be clean. Also do the same thing. Make sure that your environment is also clean. Be fully aware that whatever you do now is going to be the result of what tomorrow is going to look like. Accountability, meaning let's take responsibilities. Let's understand that, of course, we can be proud to say that, yeah, we have done a great job, as Haitian, but at the same time, where are we now? Should we be proud to say that, Like if we're talking about Brazil, nobody talks about Brazil history, like what really occurred to them, but everybody know them as strongmen, fighters, sport, Like they create a culture, they redesign who they are to be, internationally competitive. You know, friends, like all of these countries, like they create an identity and then they pretty much like keep it going. So innovation. So instead of now talking about we have defeat the French, but the French are still pretty much like moving forward. Where are we? Let's find ways to innovate and bring it on. National unity. So I believe that one of the best things that we need to do is this national unity. So you see, this black guy in the back, Haiti is a multicultural scenery. So you're going to find different people from different colors, from different shades, and unfortunately that national unity starts actually from the national discord starts from the color of your skin. When someone is darker, he is less valuable than someone who is pretty much lighter, and the mindset is different. Everybody wants to pretty much find their own way out instead of working together. So all of that actually does not help. So national unity is definitely something big we need to also look into and find, because a nation will change when its people change their expectation and when they change their mindset. Okay, so let's say countries that actually reinvented themselves. If we're looking at, South Korea in 1953, they were poorer than African and Caribbean nations, and because they were destroyed by war, little infrastructure. And today, this is a global technology powerhouse. Samsung, Hyundai, LG, and their GDP is about like $1.7 trillion. They have actually focused on innovation. So we're looking at Rwanda right now. Since 1994, what really happened? Genocide, national collapse, deep ethnic division. Today, this is one of the Africa's fastest, economy, growing economy, and they're doing really good. They're clean, improved infrastructure. This is what a clear revolution looks like. They have done the national reconciliation and they are growing very strong. If we're looking at Singapore, same thing, 1965. So they didn't have any natural resources. They were very poor. Ethnic tensions, different ways. But today, this is one of the world's richest country in the world per capita. And their revolution, meritocracy, anti-corruption, education, and strategic leadership. Everything's possible. Vietnam. Actually, I do business a lot with Vietnam, and this is an amazing country, and the people there are amazing. After decades of war, and they also fought with the United States, their economy was destroyed, extreme poverty, and today, this is like a manufacturing powerhouse, rapid economic growth, and they're doing really, really good. So they have done an economic reform, and they maintain a national priorities. Ireland, 1980s, high unemployment rate, mass immigration everywhere to the United States, Canada, and different places. And now, major technology and investment hub. Their revolution, education, foreign investment, and economic modernization. So this is a way to say that, Haiti once helped, a lot of others to achieve freedom. Haiti has also proved the word that, impossible battle can be won. Like, it's possible. They can win impossible battle. The first revolution defeated slavery. We got to get this for ourselves because we deserve it. And the second revolution must now come from your mind, the mindset. How do you want to do that? I believe that the future is not going to be focused on what we are talking about now, but it's going to be focused on how we look at the future forward, how we look at how we define national unity, how do we define, innovation. Haiti has helped a lot. We have, helped a lot of countries, to gain their independence. Our influence around the world has also pushed a lot of other countries, to get motivation, towards independence. But this was what we have done. We have proved that, the impossible can be possible. Now, what's next in terms of revolution? So the second level of revolution right now is not going to be done how it used to be done right now, because the world has changed, the mindset has changed, and we also have seen a lot of countries that we have supported have actually surpassed who we are right now. So now our revolution as Haitian would be to choose to build institutions, focus on anti-corruption, love one another, support each other's business. When you want to open the business, be open to learn, grow together. Instead of going alone, try to work together to build bigger businesses, especially for Haitians living abroad, because we know we have gone to schools, with the different type of ethnics, and we see how they are doing. We can do the same thing. So the secret is no longer a secret. We can change our mindset by focusing on what others do. Change our mindset. I'm not going to ask you to forget about what we have done, but use this as probably a remedy to help you move forward and become a powerhouse, just like South Korea, Brazil, all of these countries that were actually very poor but have decided to make their way around. Yeah, so this was it. Very nice to have shared this podcast today with you. So this is it. We want to talk about different subject. The next one we want to talk about geopolitics, because we have a lot going on. We have a lot of subject to talk about, but I actually wanted to talk about Haiti, since Haiti is actually one of the few countries that from a geopolitical standpoint has done a lot. We have done a lot. We have changed a lot. And I also can understand why we may be also very hated, because we have actually changed a lot of geopolitical bottlenecks. And this is why we have decided to talk about, Haiti today. Yeah, so next time we're going to talk about, some what's really going on in China right now. I'd like to go back again to make a new episode about China's role in the global economy. But today I really wanted to show, Haiti's role in the global independence pathway, and where we are right now and where we can be if we decide to move forward in the good direction. Talk to you soon. Bye.